John. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to come in tonight. I was just hoping we could kind of go over some of the breaches of confidentiality briefly. Again, that would be if you're aware of someone being harmed, I would need to notify someone of that. And if you're thinking of harming yourself or someone else, I would have to also give notification of that information. Is that okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So I know we've talked in the past about times when you felt left out of something, and we then focused on a time when you did not feel heard. So today we're going to talk again about times when you don't feel heard. Can you tell me of something that comes to mind?
Hmm. Um. I mean, I guess I could go back to work where, again, the organization that I work for, they're doing a lot of rapid expansion, and I just feel like I used to have a voice, and I just don't feel like I have much of a voice now.
So that seems to be like a common theme, right? You didn't feel like you had a voice at home, and now it kind of mirrors you feeling as though you don't have a voice at work.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you tell me more about your feelings on that?
I do pride myself on being a very open and communicative person, and so it's kind of frustrating when I communicate, my feelings, or when I communicate concerns that I'm not heard, because I am just really big on being transparent.
Okay. So you have what I'm hearing are these feelings that aren't being heard by others, and it is something that you take pride in being transparent. You don't feel like you get that from others.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, I would assume just like anybody else, doesn't make me feel very validated, and it can be discouraging.
Invalidated and discouraged.
Yep.
Does that remind you of anything else in your life?
I think obviously, um, I think anybody would probably say that, as a child, the difficulty with having emotions and feelings is not feeling like you're old enough to be heard. So I guess in some ways you can kind of trace it back to my childhood and having feelings, and not, feeling like I had the platform to kind of really express myself. But now I have the tools to express myself. And so it's even more frustrating that, I can clearly articulate myself. But sometimes I don't get to control how some people, take that in, and make me feel validated in my feelings.
Sure, sure. So we've gone from being a child and not feeling as though we're validated and not having the voice to being a accomplished adult male and still feeling as though we don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do with that?
Again, I understand that I can't control others, so I think consistency is key. I'll just certainly try to continue to model the kind of, behaviors that I want to see in others, and that's definitely, being open and receptive to other people's feelings, and try to actively listen to people's communications towards me and concerns.
Okay. So we're actively listening to others, we're being open and validating other people's concerns and feelings, but who validates yours?
Um, I guess that's kind of a two-way street, right? I certainly, when I have feelings on things, I certainly feel very strongly. So, in some ways, some of that validation needs to come from me, but also I need to make sure that I'm surrounding myself with others who can at least respect and appreciate my viewpoints, even if we have differences of opinions. Um, so, but again, I can't control other people. I can just try to continue to be, the best version of myself.
Absolutely. And I can understand that feeling as though having that recognition that you can't control others and still trying to find ways to self validate, I think is empowering. Do you find that to be empowering?
I think it would obviously, depend on the situation, but yeah, it can certainly be very validating, very validating. Yes.
Okay. We talked about using self-care as a way to self-validate, and we're looking and exploring tonight about ways that we can continue to self-validate. I think that's important for you.
I would agree. Yep.
Wonderful. Have you been continuing to use self-care regularly?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Again, that's very important for me. I recognize that that has a huge impact on my mental health. So it's a central part of my activities of daily living.
Okay, so we're focused on the way that our ADLs are coming across in all, like you said, parts of your life by reinforcing them, whether it's work or with family and home. I think it seems to have been very important for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Learned behaviors.
Learned behaviors. Tell me more about learned behaviors.
I mean, they can be good or bad. Throughout my life, I've learned to engage in good patterns of behavior that lend well to my mental and physical health. So I try to, make sure that every day I carve out time to, support both my mental and physical well-being.
Mental and physical well-being. So we work
Yeah.
to be more well-rounded as a person, you would say?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how has that benefited you, do you feel?
I mean, profoundly. I think before I gained that insight and understood the importance of that I was, generally just kind of a lost individual and just less happy. And I find that when I have periods of time where I'm not able to engage in those activities, that I'm generally just, a little bit more emotionally unstable and, obviously physically, because I have engaged in those activities for so long, I can definitely feel the effects when I don't do those things.
John, it feels like you've come to a point where you have a good understanding of what you need to take care of yourself.
I'd like to think so. I definitely recognize that there's always room for improvement. So I'm always in a constant state of self-assessment, um, you know, and I always try to make the best adjustments as much as I can.
That's wonderful. Wow. I think that's great.
Thank you.
I just want to take a second. It is our last session, as you know, and we've gone on this journey together of really looking at the ways that you've felt invalidated and created methods to find ways to self-validate for the future. And those are skills that you can continue to use going forward, whether that's through work or school or home or any other situation that you find yourself in.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Do you feel as though you're prepared to kind of go forward from this point using those skills?
It's about as ready as I'll ever be.
Well, that's good to hear. Do you think you'd be comfortable coming back in a few months just to check in and see how using those skills have been going for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to, get some outside perspective. And so I'd definitely be open to that.
That's great. Well, I appreciate that, John. Really, thank you very much for allowing me to kind of come on this journey with you. It's really been very rewarding for me. I hope it's been for you. I feel like we've done a lot of great work. Mostly you've done the hard work, and someplace that we can continue to look at in the future. But if anything comes up between now and the next time that we meet, please know that I'm always available if you want to call and come on in. I would absolutely love to have you come back.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, John. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. You take care.
Thank you. You as well.